Scorpio, Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. How are you doing? I hope you're well. This is Darkest on Tarot. I am Chelsea, and also happy birthday. We are still in Scorpio season. I hope for all those Scorpios that have already had a birthday, they had a lovely one. And for all those yet to come or those today, I hope you enjoy it and have enjoyed it. Now, I was not going to do a reading today. I was sitting around doing some dishes. Well, I wasn't sitting around doing dishes. I was doing dishes. And I was thinking to myself, I know I just did a Scorpio reading, but I want to do another. There's something really fun about doing Scorpio readings. I'm not sure what it is. And I don't know how many people you follow on, YouTube or whatever, how many readers you follow and how many you've noticed are just doing a lot of Scorpio readings or strictly focusing on Scorpio readings. But I think that there's something to that. I think that there's just something going on right now where Scorpios are just really fun to read for and also really craving readings. And I was just, I know I did one like a week ago, but I was like, I want to do another one. So here we are. I'm doing another one. It's your birthday season. Maybe that's why. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let's get a couple cards out. This isn't going to be a long one, hopefully. I say that now. Yeah, my standard format. Past, present, future energies with a challenge. And so far, right off the bat, Queen of Swords. We've got some truths coming out in your past energies, or some real truths that have happened to you, as well as some clarity. I'm getting big clarity vibes on that. Well, oh, I had a flipper, but Judgment. You didn't want to come out though. Here we go. And oh my gosh, two queens already. Okay, so now we've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords in your past, Queen of Cups in your present. So this clarity could have led to some sort of deep empathy. I'm feeling deep empathy here. Oh, and then, this came out in the reverse. Knight of Cups. Look at the feels. Look at the feels. Okay, what's in your challenge area, Scorpio? Right now. Oh, that was almost... What's in your challenge area right now? And I will clarify all these. Oh, Nine of Cups. Maybe this is why. This is, I know that, and Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I know this being in your challenge area is it doesn't make it as positive as it is, but, there is such a thing as too much happiness, I guess. I don't know. Probably not, actually. No, this means that, in my opinion, that being in your challenge area, especially with your Knight of Cups in reverse, it feels like a not knowing where to place your emotions, simply. And with the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, it's about finding your waters in such a way that there's a growth here. There's a massive growth. And I think that might be what this clarity is speaking to. I'm going to pull some clarifiers because that's what we do here. But yeah, this Queen of Swords in your past energies, very... I'm getting no bullshit vibes. No bullshit. No bullshit anymore, Scorpio. But I mean that in a really good way. I mean that in not that you've gotten to a point where you're so fed up you just don't give a fuck anymore and you're not putting up with anything. I mean that in the way that with this Queen of Cups in your present energy and the Eight of Cups under the deck and the Nine of Cups in your challenge, I mean that in you're realizing what you once invested emotionally in right now is not where you want to continue to invest emotionally. Therefore, you're reassessing and redistributing. That might be what I call this reading. Reassessing and redistributing. Because the Queen of Swords, I mean, some readers do read her sometimes as you, as us. I should say us, because I am also a Scorpio. And I think that's very much what that is. Like, maybe you had quite the stinger moment where you lashed out because you were emotionally invested in something. And you lashed out in that scenario. Maybe it was a conflict. I'm not getting conflict cards here, but it very well could have been. And you just kind of went, enough's enough. I'm not going to give a shit about this anymore. it almost feels like that, like let them theory kind of thing is coming into play. You know, like I'm not going to invest in something that I'm not going to put my emotions anymore into something that doesn't serve me. And I like that for you. Let's see if the clarifiers validate that. So let's clarify the Queen of Swords, please. But that's the energy I'm getting right now. And that Eight of Cups has a lot to do with it. And that Nine of Cups is you know, I do feel like it being in your challenge, it's like a once what made me happy is not what makes me happy anymore. Yeah, Fool, fresh start. Yeah, this is a new perspective of the whole thing. This is a new approach. This is I'm going to let go of that. I'm going to let go, and I'm going to metaphorically jump off this cliff into the unknown. I had a comfort zone when it came to my feelings. Oh, and I'm getting chills now. Tower, yeah. I had a comfort zone when it came to my feelings. That's a lot. Yeah, I had a comfort zone when it came to my feelings and how I used to approach certain situations with them or move forward with those feelings. And now it's just no. I need to take a new approach. I need a different I need a different mode. I need a different method. Because it doesn't serve you anymore. You had to break yourself down to that foundation, and the clarity from that Queen of Swords showed you that you know, maybe I've been doing this wrong. Not okay. That was too harsh. That's not what I meant. You weren't doing it wrong. You were doing what served you at that point in time, as far as where you placed and how you invested your emotions. It served you then, and I just got chills again. But now you're realizing it's not the correct approach now, and so that's growth, and that's where I got chills on, is when I said the growth. So it was right then, but it doesn't work now. That's, if that makes sense, you know. And you recognize that in terms of, you know, I need to shift this approach. I need to shake this tower down, get down to the fundamentals of who I am on an emotional perspective, from an emotional level, with this Queen of Cups here, and move forward with that. And try something, literally try something new. Shake it up. Tower moment. And this might have been a self-imposed tower. Very likely. Oh, I just suddenly really smelt the candles. You never smell tea lights. I just suddenly really smelt them. You kind of normally only smell them when they go out, and that's why I looked, because they're all still burning, and it doesn't smell like a wick that's gone out. It smells like wax. Interesting. Okay, clarify that Queen of Cups, please. Clarify that Queen of Cups. Thank you. Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's a like a revival. And this self-imposed tower might be because you were just burnt out of the way that things were going. So you just kind of went, I got to make a change. I got to make a change. I got to start fresh. I might not have the energy, but I need to do it. Oh, Queen of Wands. Yeah. So then we got two Wands cards. Two Wands cards with this Queen of Cups. That's three queens now on the table, by the way. And this is gender aside. No, like, you know, he, she, they, them, however you identify. This is just the energy. So this is about your divine feminine, your divine, like that aspect of you, that, because everyone has both. We've got divine masculine, divine feminine. That's where this is playing in, is within your divine feminine. And therefore, you know, you're more emotional, you're more empathetic side, that side of you, the caring, compassionate, you know, loving side of you is coming out in a way that we, you know, with the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands here, clarifying that Queen of Cups. This is all about you and where you are placing your feelings, as far like within yourself, because you know that if you know from here, and with the Queen of Swords, because she knows all she needs to know. Her sword's up, she's on guard, because she's protecting what is valuable to her. And she has a very clear distinction as to what she knows what she values, and therefore what she protects. And not in this deck. In this deck, it's a bird, but in some decks, the Queen of Swords has a butterfly, which is a symbol of us, which is why I think a lot of readers will occasionally, you know, view her as a Scorpio card in the reading. But with this Queen of Wands, this is, you know, and speaking of the little details in the cards, she's got a black cat. at the bottom. And in the times of tarot, black cats were bad luck, but this cat is there. You know, they were kind of a bad omen, bad luck kind of thing, but this cat's there right at her feet, very predominant, right in front of her, saying she doesn't give a rat's ass what people think of her. And that's the approach you're taking to your emotions. You're like, I might be burnt out and I might not want to give a shit about certain things anymore, and that's okay, because you know what? Giving too much in the past is what wounded me in the first place. You know, and which is what, and it got in the way of your happiness. It got in the way of those 9 cups. Okay. And with this Knight of Cups in reverse, that's to me, I don't even think I need to clarify it, but that Knight of Cups in reverse is actually saying to me that you are becoming incredibly discerning where you deliver your emotional bandwidth, and how you disperse it. I mean, maybe displace it. What you displace and what you disperse. But we just got the 2 of Pentacles coming through, clarifying that. So yeah, you are gonna. Maybe that's the discernment thing. You're gonna balance it. You're gonna balance it. But that's we lost a card, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It's the Star. Spoiler alert. Okay, and I'm going to show it to you, but I'm going to cover her because of the nudity and the fact that YouTube does not see this as art. Anyway, but yeah, this is definitely the healing spot that you want to be in. You know, and you're not just doing this out of frivolousness. You're not just taking, stepping into your power from an emotional standpoint just for the sake of it. You know, and you've got the Hermit at the bottom of the deck here. You're not doing it just, just for something to do. You know, it's not because you were like bored one day and figured, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have an internal tower because I feel like it. Because no, you had an epiphany. You had some clarity. You had a moment, an aha moment. Maybe you gave too much in a past situation and you were just feeling depleted. Most likely with this 9 of Wands here, with the Queen of Wands, and you decided to, instead of just going with it, step into your power instead. And this is why this is a challenge here. But the Star and the 2 of Pentacles clarifying the Knight of Cups is you're figuring out through, and I'm getting chills yet again. I've been getting them through the entire reading, so just I'm not even going to bother saying it anymore. That's my confirmation, by the way. When I say I get chills, that's my confirmation that this message is for someone out there. Which, by the way, should have said in the beginning, please take what resonates, leave the rest. And also, if it does resonate with you, do that like, share, comment, subscribe thing. It really helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. So this Star card with the 2 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, this to me is simply the fact that you are finding healing in finding that balance for yourself and setting boundaries around where you place your emotions. I love it. That's so great. And putting more focus on you in the process. Like, you're finally not being overly generous or too sacrificial, and that is something that us water signs tend to do. We don't mean to. We don't do it consciously. I think it's just we kind of got that bleeding heart syndrome, right? Clarify the challenge. And I know I've fallen victim to the bleeding heart syndrome for sure. And not saying that it always burns me in the end. It has also led to some beautiful connections and relationships in my life. But it's, it doesn't always work out for the best. And so, that's where you're at. Yeah, okay, nine of Swords. That's 2 9s. 9 of Swords with the 9 of Cups. And I just saw the 3 of Swords above the deck. I'm going to pull one more, though. 5 of Pentacles wanted to come out. But the 9 of... the Sun. Okay, and again, I've got to cover the little naked baby. But there we go. That's your challenge situation here. And I don't see that as a bad challenge. Because I see that Sun there and the 9 of Cups with the 9 of Swords as in, like, more so you're rushing, like there's like a haste to get to this state of healed, this state of contentment within you, where you feel like you have enough to give everyone, and you've also excuse me, been able to keep enough for yourself. I'm getting kind of like Nine of Pentacles vibes, where like she has 3 to give away and 6 to keep for herself, because she knows that in order to keep nurturing what she needs, she has to maintain more for her than what she gives to others. And that's very much what I'm feeling here, is then like the challenge is maintaining your happiness while you can still give, and setting those boundaries. And I can see it causing you a bit of anxiety. Absolutely. But then also, this is a weird, maybe only water signs will relate with this, but or maybe everyone, who knows. But I definitely do this, like, where if you're so used to just being selflessly giving, like even at a cost to your own well-being, if you're so used to that, then when you finally start setting boundaries, and you can end up feeling like, after the fact, you sit back and you realize you had a conversation with someone, and you're like, I just don't have the capacity for this. I'm going to tell them as much respectfully and kindly, and I'm going to move forward with my life. But then afterwards you think about it and you're going, oh, well, I hope they didn't think I was mean. I hope they didn't see that as too harsh. And you start second guessing the boundaries that you set for yourself, that you needed to do for you. They were totally valid, but you think like, oh, like maybe that was alarming to them because I don't normally behave this way, or so on and so forth, like whatever the scenario might be. But with the Temperance here, there's a lot of cards of healing and a lot of water cards going on here. Loads of cards of healing. And because we saw the Hermit, and we saw the Stars here, and the Temperance was at the bottom of the deck, or is at the bottom of the deck as well. And the Temperance is about, again, another striking a balance kind of card, and also realizing that you're divinely guided through this process, because this is Archangel Michael. So, if you're having that anxiety, and that's causing you issues and getting in the way of your happiness, because that's what that'll do. That's how your thoughts can end up blocking your balance and your happiness and your emotional stability when you are going through this very, I see this as a maturing process and a very positive thing, because it'll lead to less burnout on an emotional level, more compassion to yourself, therefore more emotional stability within you. I see this actually, I know this is not common for these 2 cards, but with the clarity, I see this past energies, this Tower and this Fool, and the Queen of Swords. I see this very much as more of a boundary set. Was it a boundary set? Sorry, I had like 3 thoughts come in at the same time. Well, okay, and I lost all of them. Anyway, I totally lost my train of thought. But let's it'll come back to me if it's important. It always does. But yeah, no, this Queen of Wands is definitely stepping into your power in a way where you are totally able to achieve that sun energy that you would like, and not at the cost of yourself, which is so amazing. Okay, I've been doing this thing where I pull an oracle card before I get advice, so I'm going to keep doing that thing. I like this for you, Scorpio. This is really nice. I really wish I could remember what that thought was. It was in and out like a flash, like the lightning bolts on the Tower card. What was I saying? I don't normally get this feeling with this, but it's, if I force it, it's not going to come. I do think it has to do with the not being so, it's almost like you're hyper self-aware, right? And so, it's great to be self-aware. That's a fantastic quality. But at the same time, it can cause this anxiety, and that can hinder you, because we always forget that thoughts become things, even fearful thoughts. And fear is simply, what do we know? False evidence appearing real, right? So, but with this Fool here, it's like you're putting your faith, you're putting your trust in the divine to guide you. That's where it is. With the Fool, the Tower, the Star, and Temperance, you're putting your faith in the divine with this. And you're going, you know what? If a situation arises where I have to give again to maybe maybe there's someone in your life, hypothetically speaking, that, has been a little bit emotionally needy, right? Maybe it's because they're going through a hard time and you just don't have the bandwidth to be that supportive friend always for them. But also, too, maybe they're just always like that. Like, I mean, we all have, on occasion, that person in our life where, they're just there. And maybe it's you and you're worried about how you're affecting the people around you on an emotional level. And therefore, you're overthinking. There's an overthinking element here in your challenge area. And I think with the Sun and the Nine of Cups here, it's just kind of telling you just to let go. With the Fool and the Tower, you've had your truth epiphany. You're standing in your power. You've got 3 queens on the table. You're standing in your power, and you've got the Star and the healing element here. God, I'm getting that candle smell again. I mean, the Temperance is Archangel Michael, and one of the most classic ways to pray to Archangel Michael, I don't know if any of you have heard this before, but light a red candle, specifically, red candle, and have a conversation, aka pray to Archangel Michael. And maybe ask for advice. I think that's where I was going with the divine guiding you right now. But I think in future, it very much seems like you're going to be keeping a lot more of your cups inward and making sure that yours are full first before you help fill anyone else's. Okay, let's get an oracle card out here. And let it slap me in the face. Abracadabra. Okay. I said thoughts become things, words become things. That's just classic. We all know that. And if anyone knows the history of the magical phrase abracadabra, what is it, 34? Then that's all it is. It's just a simple spell. Anyway, if you want to go on an interesting internet deep dive, look up the history of the word abracadabra. Okay, I'll read this here. First word, magic. Secrets, patterns, destiny. Rising from a kingdom of skyscrapers, a giant woman. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this very well, so maybe I'll hold it as close as I can and then just zoom in. Rising from a kingdom of skyscrapers, a giant woman glows in the cityscape. She is so tall she can touch the stars all around her. With her magic wand, she coaxes the future from the constellations. There is such order in the universe, in the golden ratio of shells or of patterns in the starry night. We can unlock the secrets of the universe. We are all the magicians of our own lives. Okay. So, I don't know why they brought shells into it, but yeah, we are all the magicians of our own lives. We can unlock the secrets of the universe. So, back when I said that fear, becomes things and thoughts become things, that abracadabra is just reminding you that, you got to be mindful of the words that you say, but not so mindful that they cause you anxiety. Don't go hog wild and crazy when you're setting boundaries. Just be respectful and loving. And if you come from a loving place, which with all these cups, I can't see why you aren't. The only reason I give that small warning is because the Queen of Swords, she can be a bit cutthroat, right? So maybe some of the truth you spoke to, whether it be to yourself or to someone else in a hypothetical scenario, kind of created a tower moment. Maybe, possibly. But I don't totally feel that that's for everyone. That's a very isolated instance. It's maybe just for 1 or 2 of you where, you said some stuff, albeit true, very true. I'm not saying it wasn't true. It just, maybe the delivery wasn't exactly how you envisioned it or meant it, but it could have been because you were kind of pushed to a brink, personally. All right, well, that's how I see it. But that's just one possibility for one person, and therefore it's, you're overthinking it a bit, you're caught in your head, but it's nothing a simple apology can't fix, like even when, and I can say this from my perspective of being a Scorpio, even when we are harsh, which we do have that stinger, it's never anything irreparable. It's never so bad that it's irreparable. It might take the other person time. You might have to wait, and that might be where this star, and if this is your storyline, it might be where that star and healing comes in. Maybe it's for someone else and not you. But again, you just have to then be patient with the temperance and hope that they come around, and do your best to ask for the forgiveness needed. I don't see a lot of that here. This is just a random hypothetical, or it might have been time for you just to move on. And so, if they're not going to forgive you for whatever it was that you said, or you're not going to forgive them for whatever they said, because it can work both ways. Remember, reverse energies if need be. But I don't really see that as being the overarching scenario here. And like I said, it's just a hypothetical. I think more than anything, this is completely an internal conversation between you and yourself and your higher self. So let's just put that to bed, and let's get some advice here from the universe. Just 3 cards of advice, and then we'll wrap this up real quick. 3 cards of advice, please, for Scorpio. Three cards. Oh, there's one. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So we're not letting go of our foundational energies. That's great. So you're not losing yourself in this journey. Oh, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, keep working at it. Remember who you are, and keep working. You're not, if boundary setting is new to you, if self-love is new to you, if this is all a whole new journey for you, don't. Oh, Queen of Wands again. Perfect. And the Hermit is that the Hermit? Yeah, the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. If this journey, if this is the first time in your life, regardless how old you are, regardless how much you've gone through, so I'll just show you these cards. If this is and I'm again getting confirmation, if this is the first time you've gone through something like this, where you are actually learning to set boundaries, you're and where to place your emotions and not being so overly giving, I should say, not over giving, to the point of depletion within yourself, then understand that it's going to take practice. No one is ever good at everything they do the first time around. And if they are, then they're an anomaly, and good for them. But at the same time, that's not how everyone does things. Like that's not a general, approach. So, so this with the Queen of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles here, that to me is saying maintain in your power. Maintain your confidence. The universe is Queen of Wands twice. She's a confident, magical being. So understand that, as the Abracadabra card said, understand that your words are spells. You have magic within you. And the Queen of Wands is showing you to stay and remain in your confidence, because that is your strength right now. And just keep at it. You fall off the horse, you get back on. If it doesn't work out, if this boundary setting thing that you're going through is, it doesn't work out the first time because you're new to it, that's okay. Just keep at it. Keep practicing. It'll eventually get to the point where, because if you pull from your ultimate foundation, I made hand gestures down here, that's not helpful. If you pull from your ultimate foundation with this 4 of Pentacles and who you truly are, your the 4 pillars of you, then you will succeed 100%. And it'll be the best thing for you in the end. Okay, so that said, Scorpio, I love you. Again, happy birthday. And good job. This is great progress. I like to see this. And all growth is mildly uncomfortable, or very uncomfortable at times, but just make sure you stay out of your head and you accept you for who you are. And the people in your life will follow. And you do have a lot of love to give. So that's why I'm not concerned, because people can see that. So anyway, that is what it is for now. And I will check back in with you later. And happy birthday yet again. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm now going to fight with my remote for a little bit. And yeah, love you. Okay.